I'd like to call the October 8th budget public hearing to order. Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Schobel.
Here.
Commissioner Morrill.
Here.
Commissioner Mee. Here. Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Here.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans. Here. President Kelly.
Here. Don, has anybody signed up for public comment on the budget hearing? No. Any commissioner comment on the budget? Nope. Okay.
I would move to recess the public hearing until November 20th. Is that our next meeting?
In one moment. It is the 19th, pardon me.
November 19th at 7 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Seconded.
Oh, I didn't hear Terry second.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay.
Motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I recessed it. So
Oh, I'm
He
sorry.
recessed it, so that's it.
I don't want to adjourn it.
Motion to we're no longer in the public hearing.
Okay. Now I'd like to call the October 8th regular board meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners to order. Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Schobel.
Here.
Commissioner Morrill.
Here.
Commissioner Mee. Here. Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Here.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans.
Here.
President Kelly.
Here.
We have two presentations this evening before we begin business. The first one, why don't we have Megan Raitt from the Recreation Department. Megan is our preschool and camps manager, and she has a few words to say about some upcoming events.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm just here to talk about a few upcoming events for the month of October. The Recreation Department on October 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Community Center will hold our annual Halloween happening at the Community Center gym and other various rooms. And then the parking lot, we will be having some new additions, which are good to have this year, is our petting zoo and pony rides, which they are being talked about at the Community Center, so we're excited to have them this year. They are coming from Friendly Farms in DeKalb, so it's the first time we're having them. We're also adding a new storytelling room done by our preschool coordinator, Patty McGrath. She'll be doing stories all night long. And we've added a sweets and treats room where kids can come and make caramel apples and trail mix of their own liking. So those are some new additions this year. We also have our regular favorites, which is our costume pageant with trophies and prizes for everyone. Carnival games in the gym, concessions, which are very small but much needed. We have our regular trunk or treat with local agencies, everywhere from the Sheriff's Department to our own to the City of Wheaton. We have about 20 vehicles that will be in attendance that night. They'll be handing out candy to the kids that are trick-or-treating. Also, we have professional face painting and as I said before, our concession stand. The other program that we have running this month would be all month long, and it's at Cosley Zoo. It's our annual Pumpkin Fest. They've added some new additions as well this year. They have some rides. If you haven't driven by it, you can see them right out front, so it's a nice little added bonus. They also have apples, gourds, pumpkins, corn stalks for sale. So I know everyone's looking forward to going and visiting them. So thank you very much.
Megan, for our friends at home, once more, the date of the Halloween happening
It is October 17th, Friday from 5 to 8 p.m.
at the Community Center.
at the Community Center.
Thanks, Megan.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Mike, we have another
Yeah. Our second presentation this evening is Sandy Gabor, who is the Executive Director of the Western DuPage Special Recreation Association, of which the Wheaton Park District is a founding member. Sandy?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come for my annual visit and an opportunity to tell you what's going on at WDSRA. I brought a PowerPoint, and of course my remote is not working. So I'll step over and use the arrow. But wanted to talk to you tonight about how we deliver world-class recreation services. That is something that we pride ourselves on, and I thought it might be nice to tell you how we do that. It's a little bit different than what Wheaton Park District does, and so this is an opportunity to understand that a little bit. As you know, our mission is equal fun for everyone, and our mission statement is the development of individuals through recreation. When we talk about equal fun for everyone, are we okay if I'm away from the mic?
Sandy, I wonder if you'll be on the mic.
Yeah. One moment.
I can either go this way or...
Dan, why don't you
Yeah,
work
Dan-
the arrow, and then we're good.
Dan's very good at the
Just
AV
the down
thing.
arrow if you would. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let me move that. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's why you went to school, right? So you could help arrow down on a... our vision is equal fun for everyone, and what we mean by that is really allowing or offering typical experiences regardless of your ability level. So that's what the statement means. Next is recreation planning. So here's a team. 16 individuals deliver recreation programs for WDSRA, and this is our team. We offer programs year-round, and they're arranged in 4 seasons, very similar to the Park District, as well as we have a fall interim session, which is 6 weeks. 1,200 recreation programs are offered per year, 32 weeks per year, and when we're out of the program season, we offer things like camps, special events, tournaments, and trips, which are all very popular. Our delivery of programs is different from the park districts we serve. Oops, you went too soon. Park districts hire staff to lead their class and determine the program plan and buy the supplies. So that's your typical park district and how your staff pretty much deliver services. But at WDSRA, we offer the same class, but our priority is finding the person and the head instructor who can best work with those individuals based on their needs. So our full-time staff do all the planning and preparation for the activities and purchase the supplies, and then they deliver that to the head instructor, prepare them with all the information they need to be successful on our participants, and deliver the service. We have them divided by athletics, social, cultural, special events, and camps. So you can see what that looks like. And these are the current staff. So when we're in our fall interim session, we offer bowling, camps, special events, and swimming. That was based on a need for families saying there's too much downtime. We need something. And so we looked at what were the most popular programs, and that has been going on for years. Thank you. The next one is of our team is our support services and fine arts and facilities and day programs and disability awareness. Our support services is Wendy right now. It's usually 2 positions, but we're down a full-time position at this moment. And what Wendy does is she hires all of the part-time staff who run programs. So she's got to locate them, find them, recruit them, get them to interview, and do some hiring. We hire approximately 325 seasonal staff, and we have about 150 volunteers at WD on an annual basis. Our fine arts and facility person is Dana in the middle. She is our art therapist on staff. She allows us to provide individual and group activities related to the arts. And, you know, arts can be really important for people who don't have verbal or language skills. So that expressive arts are their way of expressing how they feel. And so that is really a popular thing that we offer. And lastly, Dory on the bottom oversees all of our day programs. Now, that's something that started years ago based on need. And our family said, gosh, our kids have graduated. They're out of high school. They don't have much to do. They have jobs, maybe a couple days a week. And so what we did is started a day program. And I was talking to the staff today, and they said, boy, it was rocky in the beginning, you know, getting enough people. And now we have plenty of people. So we have 4 sites. 2 are in Carroll Stream. One is in Naperville, and the other one is in Glen Ellen right now. And we're recently talking with your staff about could we locate one in Wheaton if we added another site. This is a 9 to 2 program for people who don't have a lot to do. Parents oftentimes work, and they really need some kind of support. If, in fact, someone has a job 2 days a week, they can come 3 days a week. So they can select based on what their needs are. We are running it 5 days a week, and it runs almost year-round. We have 118 participants, and they pay about $25 a day, just to give you an idea of the need here. Thank you. Next one. The recreation team, you know, it's a fun group of staff, a lot of young folks, 173 years in the field if you add them all up, and 103 years working at WDSRA, which is pretty exciting. That helps us deliver quality. So who are the staff? Well, we like to hire therapeutic rec degreed folks, but we like to go beyond that. So if we can hire people who have art therapy, music therapy. That allows us to provide more quality programming and not always have to contract out for that, but to have control over those activities. This is the setup for our staff now. Many of them are CTRSs, which is a certification. I know many of us know CPRP. CTRS is a little bit tougher. Got to take a test, sit for the exam, pass it, and then you have to have good continuing ed that really is therapeutic based. It's not your basic stuff that many of us go to. And so we have someone with a master's in TR, a master's in art therapy, music therapy. We've got some kinesiology and psych in there, and all of those really come in handy. But again, truly our profession is therapeutic recreation, and that's what we're looking to hire. So registrations. This past year, Wheaton residents made up 16% of WDSRA programs, approximately 1,394 programs that they registered for, and 14% of inclusion programming, which was about 268 programs that were registered for. On an annual basis, we serve 2,993 individuals with disabilities, and that's an exciting number for us, and no duplication in there. New program, we started a brand new program in Wheaton, which we're excited about. It's a SOYA program, which is for young athletes, Special Olympics, introducing activity to really young kids. We were over at Jefferson. We served 250 kids in that program. And they came in about 20-minute spurts and really got into some physical activity. Now, will all those kids be served by us in the future? Probably not. But they're in school right now because they need early learning and they need activity. And so we were grateful, and we have seen 3 registrations come in already from families who didn't even know we existed, and now because of SOYA in the school came through. So that was really exciting. This just shows you who we serve. This includes both WD's programs as well as our inclusion programs. So you can see our large age group is the 23 to 99-year-olds, which is 43% of who we serve. Many of our young kids are served in inclusive programs, which means they're signing up for your programs at the Park District as well as our 8 other districts, and then we're providing the support for them. It gives you a handle on who we serve. Here's our inclusion team. Inclusion, I think all of you know, is when someone with a disability wants to be in the regular program, whether it be adult or a child. And this is our team that coordinates it. Lots of inclusion going on at WDSRA. The biggest age group is 3 to 12-year-olds, and success is the ultimate goal. And kind of their motto is, hey, whatever it takes to be successful is what we'll try and do. Accommodations include things like observations, evaluations. When we find out someone new's in the program, we do a lot of homework. And we tailor the staff, select the staff very carefully. And we look for about a 2-week opportunity to really make that happen, to get the information and to do what we need to do in order to help them be successful. I got to tell you, of our districts, and I know this is taped, but that's okay because it is the truth, we find Wheaton Park District staff to be so welcoming. From day one, when our staff walk on the premise, they are welcomed, people introduce them, and we can tell that when new staff start here, WD is part of the orientation. We don't have to do that. It isn't a second thought. We truly are feeling like we are an extension of the Wheaton Park District, and that goes a long way to being successful. So I thank you for that on behalf of your staff. We created an outreach position. This is Dale. She worked with us and moved into the position. Dale is bilingual, which helps us in some of our communities where we need to have Spanish-speaking ability. WD has always done a great job of reaching out, and the PR and marketing folks do an awesome job with that wide net approach to reaching people through our brochures, through articles, through all sorts of media. The one thing that we weren't doing so well is we didn't have any point person for all new people. We had very welcoming staff. Anyone who came to the door was helped at any moment in time. But we oftentimes, if we didn't have a program, we lost track of them. weren't always successful. So if we didn't get them plugged in right away, we sometimes lost track of them because we didn't have a point person. So Dale helps us to do that. She has gone out. We have 14 school districts in the 9 communities that we serve and 3 special ed co-ops. She has gone out and met all of the key people who now know we exist, who will make referrals, who need to be reminded that we're out there. And we're seeing 175 new family contacts in just the short time that she's been doing this. This one you can click a few times. I think it'll all come in. Yep. A little bit different than the Park District. And this is just an FYI because I don't know that all of you always know this. Our services are pretty individualized when it comes to folks who have disabilities. We take a tremendous amount of information from them, and these are all the steps that we take to help someone be successful. At the typical Park District, you're working with masses of people. You sign them up, you run your rosters, you hire your good staff, and you put things out. Ours is very individualized. We had a participant, just to give you an example, who has some difficult behaviors. And so we took the low-tech approach. We can take the high-tech approach too. But person liked to hit, take his shirt off, break things occasionally, and like to spit. Now, that is just what he comes with. We knew that from day one. Mom told us, we had the information. So what we did is our staff create a story. And every time he comes to program, this story is read to him about what's appropriate. Who can he hug? Why he has to leave his shirt on, what's expected. And if he doesn't, then he's going to go home. Then we use these kinds of things, which are called pics. It's amazing. We have drawers and drawers of these pictures. It's an actual software program. And so what we do is we show him all the things that we don't want him to do. And then when he does do something, and if he does do something, we take whatever he did, and it goes to 1. Strike 1. And if he does it again, it moves over to 2. Or if he does something else that we're not looking forward to and that he's been talked to about, it goes to 2. And when he gets to 3, he goes home. Now, that's an agreement with Mom and with Dad that can happen. Now, I don't want you to think we're always punitive, because we're certainly not. This is all the good stuff. When he does good things, he has a smiley face. He has all sorts of things as he's doing it. You left your shirt on. That's awesome. We're glad you only hugged and didn't, kiss, etc. So that is what we do for our participants. As crazy as it sounds, that's how kids can be successful in our program that have difficult behaviors. So this is what we call the low-tech approach. Certainly our iPads help us as well, and that would be more of our high-tech approach. Thousands and thousands of these pictures that help kids to be and help adults to be successful. The next thing, couple last slides. Our current year in recreation highlights. Many of you were at our auction. We thank you for your ongoing support of that. We raised enough money to purchase 12 iPads, which allow us to improve our communications with kids. Some of our kids are nonverbal, and an iPad is what they use at school. So if we can help them use an iPad to communicate with us, that can manage the behavior and keep kids successful. We offered a new Rec and Roll program for a lower functioning group who had more medical needs. Our Windy City Warriors won their 9th IHSA championship and placed 3rd at nationals. This is our wheelchair, our folks that are in wheelchairs that play sports, adaptive sports. We offered an art studio for group and individual lessons. Special Olympic young athletes I talked to you about, and we ran a Lose to Live program, which was really successful and helped some of our families lose about 67 pounds. So that was great. What's on the horizon for next year? We have a new collaborative adaptive sports program called Synergy. We decided that we would merge our adaptive sports program with the local neighboring SRA, NEDSRA. And it took us a year to get it off the ground, but I am here to tell you we are up and running. And I think it's going to be a great program that allows us to serve low incidence disabilities in a really effective way. We also have a needs assessment that will be conducted this year. The last one was 2007, so it's time to ask our families, those we serve now, as well as those we don't serve, what kind of services they want. We continue to grow our foundation board of trustees. We are bringing on 2 new trustees that help us raise money and have great networks next week. And we launched a brand new play-based program. We're looking to launch one next year, and you'll hear about that at the auction as well. And then we increased our services to those with mental illness, and we'll continue to do that. And lastly, I just want to say thank you again for believing that our residents with disabilities have a right to live rich, fulfilled lives with wonderful recreation opportunities. It is your ongoing support as commissioners to continue to levy the dollars and support your residents with disabilities, and we thank you for doing that. Any questions that I may be able to answer?
Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
No.
Thanks for your work, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy. Great job.
Donna, has anybody signed up for community input? Nope. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Mike, take the roll.
Do we need to specify what's on it?
Yeah, I apologize.
So, Ray-
I should have noticed.
So, Ray, we need to specify what's on the consent agenda.
I move to approve the disbursements totaling $1,264,516.92 for the period beginning September 10th, 2014, ending September 29, 2014, as well as the approval of the April 16th, 2014 regular meeting minutes, and the approval of purchases and contractual services over $999.99, and under the bid limit of $20,000.
All right, and for information only, there are no purchases that fall in that category this month. Okay, Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mee,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans, President Kelly.
Yes. Okay, unfinished business. The first item is approval of a change order with V3 Infrastructures for the Cosley Zoo parking lot project. And that is the change order for the under drains that we discussed at last month's board meeting.
Move to approve the addition of under drains to Cosley Zoo North Lot at a cost of $11,421.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? New business. First item of new business is biz results and recommendations for food supplies for Arrowhead Golf Club for December 1st, 2014 through November 30th of 2015.
Okay, I'm going to apologize early because I think we have to read them all. So I'm just going to do it. Move to approve the awards recommended for the following categories. Estimated cost total of $1,042,852.10. Appetizers to Fortune Fish, $26,335 in commodity pricing. Bread to Highland Park, $55,572.30 in fixed pricing. Dairy to Cisco Chicago, $149,551.50 in commodity pricing. Meat to Consumers Packing, $457,977.70 in fixed pricing. Seafood to Fortune Fish, $113,271.80 to commodity pricing. In commodity pricing, poultry to Cisco Chicago, $126,196.23 in commodity pricing. General/frozen food, Cisco Chicago, $92,786.69 in fixed pricing. Dry goods to Cisco Chicago, $102,396.31 in fixed pricing. Paper disposable goods to Cisco Chicago, $42,885.46 in fixed pricing. Small wares to Cisco Chicago, $10,648.57 in fixed pricing. Produce to Midwest Foods, $97,724.50 in fixed and commodity pricing. And beverages to Cisco Chicago, $29,374.42, all in fixed pricing, all of which were the low bidders.
Second. Any questions or comments?
And a good job by Phil.
Yeah. I only had one question, and I noticed that the total amount bid for meat this year is more than double what we spent last year.
Well, there's been some adjustments to actually increasing the amount that we're buying because of business increases.
Okay.
And there's also been some major increases in prices across the board, both in pork and beef. This past year, we did very well with our fixed pricing. And in some cases, he was losing money selling to us, especially bacon and pork products, because of the baby pig disease that's going around. So there's been a major savings, and he had to make adjustments, and it was all in line with other competitive bidders that placed bids.
I was just wondering if we were expecting our business to double, that's all. Anybody else have anything else?
I'd just like to thank our executive chef, Alan Pierhofer, and our director of food and beverage, Steve Glass, and our director of special facilities, Andy Bendy, for working hard to make sure that Arrowhead has the best quality for the best price. It's a lot of work, and they do an excellent job at it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Since we're awarding contracts, Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 2 is award of asphalt repair contract at Arrowhead Golf Club.
Move to approve a contract with the low bidder Chadwick Contracting for the cart path repair and parking lot patching at Arrowhead on the east and west sides of the course in the amount of $37,010.
Second.
Second. Anybody have any questions or comments? Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 3, approval of the 2015 pool pass and daily admission rates. You have a motion.
Move to approve no change in the fees for those pool pass rates for 2015 and admission fees.
Second.
Second. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, Terry.
Here's a question. Just what went into the staff decision to approve or at least recommend no increase in those fees?
Well, when it came time to obviously talk with staff, we have increased the rates pretty consistently the last 2 to 3 years. And because the rates have pretty much gone flat last year, we didn't feel like we needed to increase at the time.
And Andy, and I know we'll get into it, with the annual report, but does it then have to do with the fact that, we have not, we've lost money in the last couple of years with the pools, and our admission fees and so on and so forth are down?
Well, I think it's numerous things. I mean, it could be the weather. I mean, if we have a cold or wet spring. And
No, I understand that.
So.
No, the question really was, is the no fee increase related to the fact that, our admission fees or our revenue is down?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything? Ray?
Just a couple comments, and I don't know if we need to make a decision tonight or not, but I think other commissioners have expressed this opinion that pools don't need to necessarily make a lot of money or even make money, but it should be self-supported. And so, I think that's our goal, is to provide quality swimming facilities that are safe at a reasonable price. The other thing is that noting, and maybe jumping ahead to the report, but we talk about opportunities that we have that I'm not so sure we're taking advantage of, with Winfield and Warrenville not having swimming facilities. And I look at our non-resident fee being 50% more than the resident fee, and it seems, in this case at least, a little bit high. And perhaps if that fee were 25% more, it might be more of an incentive for our non-residents to want to either get a pool pass or pay the daily fee. Just food for thought. If our goal is to try and increase the number of people using our facilities so we can generate money to offset our expenses without having to constantly increase the fees to our residents, then that might be an option.
Yeah, Phil.
I agree with Ray to a certain extent, and that is if, are we marketing to Winfield and Warrenville? Do we have any intergovernmental agreements with Winfield and Warrenville as, hey, you guys don't have a pool, we do. We will sell, you can sell pool passes for us at X. We'll give you a certain percentage of it, and your residents can get a reduced rate. Maybe they don't get our resident rate, but they get a reduced rate versus the non-residents, and maybe that's a way for us to market ourselves. But I think we have to be creative because we've lost $60,000, $70,000 more this year than we lost last year. And
To answer your question, Phil, we don't currently have a program like that, but staff is happy to reach out to those communities and talk about making that happen.
Well, I don't have any problem with anything other than the one statement that we would give them a percentage of it. Why would we're providing services in their park district that they don't have?
Why,
Facilities for?
if we're wanting them to sell for us, we need to give them an incentive to do that. They're not going to say, hey, we'll sell Wheaton pool passes and get nothing out of it just because we're going to sell Wheaton pool passes.
I think they'd want to service the residents.
Well,
I mean, that's
how much staff would we put in for someone else to make money? We don't do that either. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I think I'm just throwing out an idea.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I agree with that, but.
That's fine. We don't agree on a lot of things.
Let me, Ray kind of put us into it, and we are there. I'm not going to get totally into the aquatics annual report, but, I did notice that the last 2 years we've operated at a loss. So, Ray, you made a comment that, we don't necessarily have to be self-sustaining, but we want to be. So what has the pool revenue philosophy been, Mike, over, let's say, the course of time? I know we would want to be at least at a break even, but is there a philosophy that we would want to be better than that? So maybe you can answer that question.
Well, we always want to be sustainable and reduce our reliance on the property tax. I think one of the contributors to the pools not breaking even is we went several years ago to having each individual business, special facility operation, fund to a large degree their own capital improvements. And so what we're seeing is you're seeing this deficit for the last couple of years, which some of it is weather, some of it is they're older facilities, but some of it is also we're getting a truer picture of what it costs to run the operation between both Larry's department and Andy's department. So short answer is my direction to staff is these facilities need to break even and if at all possible make money so we can continue to put money into upgrading them and keeping them operating with as little reliance on the property tax as possible.
Yeah, and I understand, weather impacts on it. That makes sense in a pool. I have to support what Ray and Phil said, about looking at other opportunities. At the same time, I wonder how much of this has to do with the economy or people cutting back on, pool recreation. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. All my kids are grown, so they're not using the pool facilities.
I don't know how everybody else feels, and Mike, you made a comment that I didn't realize, so I'd like to know a little more about that. In 2012, the pools made $60,000. And in 2014, the pools lost $80,000. That's a $150,000 swing in pools that have an operating budget of about, what are we looking at? $500,000 in expenses between the two pools, and we're losing, but that's revenues and expenses. So we're talking about a pretty good shift. So if some of it is that we're charging stuff to the pools now that we did not charge in 2012, I think you need to come back with a report and say, look, 2012 is skewed because it didn't have these expenses that you're now getting. But I don't think that's the...
You're not going to find that because the expenses have been stable for those.
Right.
We were just changed prior to 20.
We did.
I think there is an urgency to figure out what we want to do.
I just want to add that 2012 was the hottest, longest, no rain, most 90-degree days we've had in decades.
So what was 2011? Does anybody know?
Why don't we pull up 2011 and submit the report? But 12 was, you can talk to...
Yeah, I think we all understand that. 12 to 13 was a problem because of weather. 13 to 14, they were more comparable years, and we're still lost another. 13 and 14 were very comparable comparatively.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I thought you were comparing to 12.
We lost $68,000 more. So we have to figure out what's going on. 12, I agree, was an anomaly and great and everything else. But 13 to 14 were somewhat similar.
We'll break it down and we'll break it down and get it back to the board right away.
I just think it's something staff needs to focus on this winter because we just don't want to keep heading down that road.
Clearly. Thank you.
Anybody have anything else on that? Okay, so the motion and the second was to set the rates.
At the 14 level.
At the 14 level, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that passed. All right, and then the last item of new business is Resolution 2014-06. It's a 2014 resolution authorizing the estimate of the annual aggregate levy. We need a motion. Need a motion?
So moved.
That was what came out in the email, that was emailed to everybody yesterday, or on Monday?
That's this one?
Yeah, we had mentioned it at the budget workshop
At the budget
that we had
workshop,
inadvertently
we said-
left off this item. It was put in on Monday.
Move to approve Resolution 2014-06, authorizing the estimate of annual aggregate levy.
A second?
Second.
I think we better say what that is.
Take a shot.
I don't know. I'm looking at it.
Hang on.
It's
Is it this amount here?
there. Where's the ordinance?
It's the resolution.
It's right here.
So the approximate levy we're asking for is $11,172,771. $11,172,771. Is that correct?
$11,522,064.
In paragraph 1.
It's paragraph 1.
Okay.
Paragraph one.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll amend my motion accordingly.
Now, agree. Second. I agree.
Anybody have any questions? Or?
I'm sorry, I did misread that. The 11,172 is the correct figure.
Okay. So for the record, this motion is to authorize the estimate of the annual aggregate levy in compliance with the Truth in Taxation Law in the amount of $11,172,771 to be levied by the Park District for 2014.
Now, do I have a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
Just one comment that this is as it states, the estimate of the levy. The actual levy would be before the board at an upcoming meeting prior to submitting it to the county clerk by the end of December. So we have to estimate it, let the public know, and then you come back again and we can have a larger dialogue about what the final figures are.
All right. So since it's an ordinance, we'll take the roll.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Reports from staff. Mike, are you going to talk on this first?
Yes. Under my report, I just would like to draw your attention to, within your packet, we have the first review of our GO Limited Tax Park Bond Series 2014. It's also referred to as our annual rollover. We'll do a competitive sale on November 18th, and we will have ordinance for the low interest rate and the sale at the meeting on the 19th. Please direct your attention to that document. Secondarily, as I've mentioned in subcommittee, we have a resident request for de-annexation from the Park District. This was a recent annexation of a single-family home in 2011. They requested annexation. They are now requesting de-annexation 2 years later and some change. So I would simply bring that to your attention and seek the President's guidance.
I would request that that staff provide us an analysis of this as well as what the process is, and so we can all better understand what she's asking for, and that this be sent to the Finance Committee for review before coming back to the board.
If that's the will of the board, that's what we'll do.
Anybody have any problems with doing it that way?
I don't,
You need a second?
No.
I just make
That
it,
was just in his report, so are you guys okay with that? Just going back to gather more information and present something
Yeah.
more to you than you have now?
I think just, preliminarily, I think it's a bad precedent, but I'll wait for some additional information.
Okay.
We'll provide it, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Does anybody, what I'll do now is I'll open it up for board, anybody have board comment or discussion on any of the reports you received, or any just comments in general? Ray?
Maybe 3 quick comments. I'd like to congratulate the museum on the 2 awards that they received from the Illinois Association of Museums. Congratulations to Sarah and staff. Looking in the pool report, again, very well done. Numbers were different and better and bigger. And the profits, I guess, the net revenue was higher, but it is what it is. I do want to point out, though, that on page 16 of the report, it shows that 83% of the pool staff are high school or college employees. That's out of 278 individuals for 2014. We spent approximately $423,429 in salaries for those individuals. So we make a big impact in this community on hiring high school and college age kids. And I think we give back to the community for the tax dollars that they provide, at least for those individuals. And so I think that's commendable for the district and for the staff and the pool staff. Final comment, I kind of jokingly at the budget meeting in talking about wanting to take care of Hubble or Central, or not really quite sure what to call it, as far as making sure that funds were available to develop that site. We have talked about it in the past, and I'd like to get some resolution to this. What are we going to call that area? That is really kind of up in the air right now, in my mind at least. And I'd like us to resolve this sooner than later. That's all I had.
Anybody else have anything? Terry?
Wendy, thanks for your report, and see, you provided us with some stimulus for communication today. But it was helpful because it, gave us a little bit insight into, what's happening with the pools and so forth. Appreciate that. I just wanted to note that, our attendance at Cosley is up for the year. Looks like about 12,000 people. That's significant. And Bruce and Andy, thanks. We had an increase in golf rounds this year over last. That was certainly noted. That's a nice little piece of revenue. And Mike, for you or somebody, what the heck is pickleball?
Come on, that's the game of the future for seniors here, Terry. And you're pretty close to it.
We called it something else the other day.
You're obviously pretty familiar with it.
I think you're.
What did we call it?
It's pickleball is not petanque. It's petanque is bocce ball-ish. Pickleball is tennis-ish.
Yeah, see now? It's tennis-ish.
It's a shortened court. It's a shortened.
Thank you, Mike. Jane just jazzed it up.
Okay. Phil?
Yeah, Wendy, I do want to say, I know the discussion on your report was not, the results weren't what we may have hoped for, and we're going to try and work through it, but the report itself was very informative, and thank you. And I really would like to see if we could have, going back to what Ray said, if we could have some plan, and we may not, at the November meeting, a proposal from the staff or something as to what we're going to do about Hubble, Central, whatever we're calling it, and how we're going to get there in the very short term. Because we're now spending a lot of money on fields, lights, et cetera, and the community's calling it 6 different things: Old Hubble, Hubble, Central Athletic, Wheaton Central. No one knows what to call it, and I think some of us have been asking for a plan on this for a fairly decent amount of time, so I'd like to see it.
We'll do it.
So if we could put that on the agenda, Donna, for Thursday, or for the November meeting, I would appreciate it.
All right. Mark?
Did I miss the final report on Brewfest? Final numbers?
No.
No, actually, in December, we will have a full special events report on all of the special events we had in 15.
And you guys did a great
14.
job with that. Even with the weather, that wine fest was phenomenal. People complimented us on that when we were, Becky and I were serving, so well done.
Thank you.
I'll move to go into closed session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees under 5 ILCS 120/2, paren C, paren 1.
Second.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yep.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. And there is a possibility that action will be taken after the executive session.